Hey best friends, so you may have seen lots of very cool YouTubers drawing their lives recently. Their videos have all been really amazing, so I'm hoping that the act of illustrating my existence will make it seem a little more interesting. The best place to start is probably at birth, because that's where it all kicked off for me really. On the 28th of December 1987 at 11:24 PM, my mother gave birth to a wrinkly, unattractive, slightly disgruntled infant. A mere 12 minutes later, however, after my twin brother John was born, I elegantly reared my head from my mother's depths too. I say I reared my head, I actually came out bottom first, but that does not deter from the fact that I was still a very angelic child. From then until the age of around 5 years old, in a relatively blank spot in my memory, I guess I was just too busy developing a brain. Some of my earliest memories though consist of my next door neighbour's dishevelled boat in his front garden. I genuinely thought he was Captain Birdseye due to this, and his very impressive beard. My first ever trip overseas was to Spain, where I discovered a giant praying mantis. Now, whether it was actually giant or regular size and I was just really small is lost in the ether of time, but I like to imagine it was very big. I also remember my two big sisters stripping my brother and I both down to our underwear and either making us fight or have a dance off, both of which I would of course win. By the time we got to primary school, my brother and I were really playing on the fact that we were twins with our matching outfits and Sonic the Hedgehog school bags, which we both adored. I remember having show and tell, and I always bought a Transformer. Usually it was Starscream, because he was the biggest and he turned into a jet. My brother was a hero and punched a kid named Hugh in the face for picking on me. That in itself is pretty cool, but when you consider that everyone, even the parents, had nicknamed Hugh Huge Hugh, just because he was by far the biggest 6-year-old the world had ever seen, it becomes pretty spectacular. Primary school was also a time when my mum and my dad broke up, and I didn't see much of him from then on. I don't really have loads of memories of him, and most of the ones I do have aren't that great. High school is an awkward time for everyone. You go through lots of embarrassing changes, both physically and mentally. I was a very late bloomer. I didn't go through these changes until everyone else had a beard, a girlfriend, and had got to at least second base. As a result, I was an in-betweeny kid. Then, to make things really awkward, my body went through the same changes as everyone else, but they made up for lost time. My hands, feet, arms and legs grew extremely big, but I didn't put any weight on, and I was very ungainly. I looked like Gollum, only Old Buckingham High School was nothing like Middle Earth. In the summer holidays between high school and sixth form, my body caught up with my arms and legs, and I was really tall, which is great news. Other than that, the only defining moments in my life during this period was that I had my first ever crush. I really fancied this girl at my art class, so I thought I would impress her by making her the subject of my project. Big mistake. She was one of the cool kids, and spending hours staring at her face didn't help me get over her. Also, the fact that I painted her in blues and greens and made her look dead didn't help at all. My other big defining moment was the fact that my big sister had her first baby, and my little niece Lily was born, and she brightened up my world. At university, I studied psychology, which I really enjoyed. I also drunk a lot during my first year and did a lot of things that I now regret, many of which you guys have heard about in lots of my videos. One day, after being very ill, I just decided that I'd stop drinking altogether so I wouldn't be sick anymore, and my life would be a little less embarrassing. I did stop being sick. 1 out of 2 isn't bad. A few months before I stopped drinking though, my life changed forever when I met my future wife, Tanya at a party. Good job I was drunk on this occasion, because if it wasn't for a little Dutch courage, I would never have spoken to her. As it happened, I thought I was being really good at flirting, and she thought I was gay. After graduating, I expected to go into an amazing job and live happily ever after in a house made of rainbows and cookies. Unfortunately, that did not happen, so myself, my brother and Tan decided to save as much as we could for 6 months and go exploring Thailand and Australia. It was incredible. We saw tigers, we rode elephants, in fact, Tan even got kissed by one. It left the biggest bogey on her face in the history of bogeys. We learned how to cook Thai food, we went snorkeling and we fed wild monkeys peanuts, and we met lots of cockroaches. By the time we got to Australia, we'd kind of run out of money, and also there were serious floods and bushfires at the same time, so we ended up staying in Sydney for 6 weeks, just enjoying the sun and the beaches. Could have been a lot worse. When we got home, reality really hit for me, and I realised that nothing had changed. I still didn't know what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be, and for someone who usually has everything figured out, this really scared me. Before we went travelling though, Tan had started her YouTube channel and I had appeared in one of her videos. She made me into Edward Cullen. She encouraged me to start my own channel as something constructive to direct my energy into on the weekends, and I loved it. Making videos genuinely did change my life, even at the early stage when only 2 people watched, and it's because of this that I do not take you guys for granted. As time went on, my channel grew, and so many opportunities opened themselves up to me. I got to visit America for the first time and made friends with other YouTubers and went to Disneyland and VidCon. It was only at VidCon that I realised there were lots of really cool YouTubers in the UK too, and so when I got home, I endeavoured to make friends with as many as possible. More recently, I went to New York and asked my amazing girlfriend to be my wife, and she said yes, despite knowing everything that I'm sharing with you in this video now. Also, we just moved into our new house and we love it. So there you go, that is my life. It truly is thanks to you guys that I now know what I want to do with my life. I am very lucky to have you. On that note, don't forget to subscribe or I'll blow this person's brains out. Thank you very much for watching me. I love you guys and I will see you really, really soon. Bye!
Barbie, I love you and I don't care who knows it. I'm gonna climb top of that building and say, I love Barbie!